can deliver almost everything you'd want to do online without requiring additional software such as browser plugins. So we all know that eventually everybody's going to be mobile only. People are kind of moving away from desktops. So what this does is gives you all the experience right there in your browser without having to, clutter your device with a whole bunch of apps and plugins and stuff like that. So one of these things is games and instant apps. So I'm sure you've seen instant apps before. I'm sure you've seen the mobile website games. I saw an instant app the other day when I was reading a news article. It automatically opened up an app, which is kind of cool because it doesn't have to download it on your phone. So basically, Apple, iOS, and Android do not support Flash anymore. This is kind of old news. Everything's HTML5 based, the stuff that you normally see them use, use Flash for. So everything is HTML5 all over the world, and everything's going to be HTML5 in the future. Now, here's another article here that describes HTML5 a little bit more. It's not a programming language. Everything's programmed in JavaScript, but it delivers APIs for new solutions like Canvas, WebGL, or WebAudio. So I don't want to get too much into this stuff. They list all the benefits of HTML5. They list some benefits of Flash in comparison to it, but Flash is not really going to be used anymore. Adobe doesn't even support Flash anymore. So what I'm going to show you is games. So this is the global games market. In 2016, here it is right here, smartphone games accounted for 29% of the market. Tablets, 10%. So these two you can really lump together. And as you can see, it's funny that tablets stay 10% of the market every year. As you can see, it's increasing every year. It's going to be 40% in the year 2020. So that's huge. 40% plus the 10% tablets is half of the market. That's pretty simple. So this company that I'm going to tell you about is developing their own blockchain. They have, again, 70% of the Chinese market cornered on HTML5 based games and apps. They have well over 100,000 developers using them right now. This company, I'm going to tell you about the company first. It's called Egret Technology. So let's go back to their homepage here. It's a Chinese company. Now, 200,000 HTML5 developers use their services. They have, this is their most popular one. So they have an HTML5 engine that people develop games on. So this is the company right here. Let me go to the About Us section again. So, started in 2014. They've received financing from some pretty big investment banks. Tells you a little bit about them here. Here's right here. So its core engine product, Egret Engine, has more than 70% of domestic mobile web page game engine market share, and Egret runtime is embedded in over 500 million mobile devices. So this is huge, and that's just the Egret engine. They have other products too. Now, this blockchain that they're coming out with, it's called Egretia. It's an HTML5 based blockchain engine and platform. So what this does is all of their existing network, so all the games that are developed on their engine using their services, which is, I don't know how many games it is, but it's got to be a lot if they have 70% of the market share in China, and China's huge on mobile. So the whole platform is going to be on their new blockchain after it's live. They have, if you look in the white paper, and I'm not going to read through the whole white paper, it's pretty long, it's comprehensive, which is good, but basically they have a cryptocurrency called Egreten. So Egreten is going to be used to pay for in-game purchases. It's going to be used as the currency for, bonuses, rewards, stuff like that. It's going to be used to pay developers, and it's going to be used to pay community contributors. So this is the currency that's going to be used in basically 70% of the Chinese HTML5 industry, which is gigantic. There's nothing else like that out there. And, again, I'm not going to go through the white paper. There's no details in here about the token sale yet. We don't know a date. I've done a little bit of math, and I kind of guesstimated the amount of tokens in the token sale to be about 500 million. That's just my estimation. So it could be higher, it could be lower. But I imagine it's going to be a pretty high token supply, because if they're going to be using it for all that, for currency for payments and rewards and bonuses and paying their developers, then you have to have a lot of coins. You have to have a high coin supply. Otherwise, there's no liquidity. Now, let's go back to their page here. So, okay, they've been around for 4 years. Already went over that. Egret Technology's been around for 4 years. 14 products. So the products are those tools that developers use to develop these games and apps. 200,000 developers are using them. 1 billion devices. So this platform, I guess, I might be out of line here, but it looks like this blockchain is immediately going to be used by 1 billion devices, which is insane. Let me scroll down a little bit here. This is all on their main website, agrecia.io. Here's the roadmap. So Q2, test chain and smart contract, and their test development tools. So they're moving fairly fast here. Q3, first wave of games and apps. Q4, Alpha SDK. And then, you can look here. So it's pretty steady. It looks like every quarter they're coming out with something big. Every quarter. And the roadmap goes pretty far out to 2020. A lot of these ICOs don't really have a roadmap that goes very far out. So here's their team. Their team is current and former members, mostly current and former members, obviously, of Agrecia, but also Adobe, Qualcomm, Microsoft, EA. It's a huge team. So let's look at their LinkedIn's right here. Here's Peter Huang. He's the co-founder of Egret Technology. Used to work at Adobe. Dirk Meyer, co-founder of Agrecia. Dirk Meyer currently works at Adobe. So this is huge. He's a senior program manager. This guy has a lot of experience. Used to work in China. That's interesting. That's probably where he connected with Agrecia. Wow, yeah, he's been at Adobe for a very, very long time. Over 10 years. Wow. Okay. 20 years. Over 20 years. Wow. So ton of experience here. Who else do we have here? Yin Ma. So this guy works for Qualcomm right now. So here's another current member of a huge tech company who's running Agrecia. And then Ross, I do not know how to pronounce that last name. Przybilski? All right, I don't know. I'm not even going to try again. So this guy looks like he has a lot of gaming experience, and he also used to work for Adobe. And then they do have team members. They say they have team members that used to work for Microsoft or currently work for Microsoft. Ross was a producer in Electronic Arts, so they have a lot of gaming experience, a lot of programming experience, ton of HTML5. These are the guys that pretty much run everything in HTML5. Here's all their advisors. So some pretty good advisors here, mostly cryptocurrency related. Partners and investors. So you can look all through all this stuff yourself. So basically, I'm waiting to find out more information about this. I've reached out in the Telegram. The Telegram only has, I think, 4,500 members. So this is as under the radar as it gets. I mean, you have basically senior executives or senior developers from Adobe and Qualcomm who are starting their own blockchain with the co-founder of the biggest HTML5 company in China. This is going to be huge. So you'll probably be hearing a lot more about this. You probably haven't heard of it before this video. I didn't hear of it until yesterday or the day before yesterday. So I think this is going to be gigantic, but there's just not a lot of information about the token sale out there yet. And I want to know if they're going to be using that currency solely in all their games and apps, the IGRA10 currency. And IGRA10 is what you're buying in the ICO. So that makes it a utility token, since it's going to be used as payment and as a reward system for everything within all the games and apps. I'm going to make more videos on this as more information comes out. Again, they haven't even released a date for the token sale yet. So this is as early as it gets. Put these websites that I'm going to put in the description, put them in your bookmarks. Pay attention to this project. When they do release a date, I'm going to make another video about the actual structure of the token sale. But for now, the project itself